Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
And we serve as the voice to the Toubou Black community.
Again, we got Dr. Candace Matthews.
A lot of these documents, looking at.
We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media.
This country is supposed to be about the land of the free for all. It has not been free for Black people, and we are tired.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
South African TikTok content creator defends South Africa amid the Miss SA former contestant Chidimma Adetshina's debacle, saying South Africans are not xenophobic. Hello, my name is Renelo Mrema, and I am your host right here on the African Diaspora News channel, reporting live from Johannesburg, South Africa. The video I'm about to show you explains why South Africans wouldn't let Chidimma Adetshina represent them in the Miss SA pageant. The issue is more cultural than racial. This girl explains why Mia Leroux is better as Miss SA than Chidimma Adetshina.
Let's take this Chidimma situation and try to break it down in our brains as much as we can. The problem with Chidimma is that she didn't represent South Africans in any way. From her name to the way that she looks, down to the culture that she has publicly celebrated. I personally didn't care what Home Affairs said about her citizenship. All I cared about was the fact that nothing about her represented South Africans. When you tell us that we would rather celebrate a Mariki Viljoen over our black sister, then we have the right to tell you that what you're talking about is a racial issue and it has nothing to do with being Miss South Africa. Playing the brother and sister card in the situation doesn't work because a Mariki Viljoen is more of my sister when we talk about being a South African as opposed to a black girl that comes from Nigeria or Ghana. In South African context, Mariki is my sister because I recognize her name, I recognize her language, and I recognize her culture. A Michaela McKenzie is more of my sister when we talk about being a South African as opposed to a Chidimma. If your problem is race and colonization, then there's other platforms where you can discuss those things, not this one. If the situation is racial, then yes, I can say Chidimma is more of my sister than a Mariki, but this is not the case. So stop trying to guilt trip us and using big words to make us feel guilty or make us feel bad for not wanting to accept a person that doesn't represent us in any way. Stop trying to dibanisa things that don't dibana.
From my own understanding, this girl isn't saying that she would choose a white person over Chidimma. She's saying that the Chidimma situation was not the platform to speak about racism. There's a difference between racism and xenophobia. So Nigerians mixed up the two because the South African law proved that Chidimma's family broke the law. Her citizenship is fraud. So to deflect from that situation, they started mocking South Africans, saying we are inferior to the white people because we choose to coexist with them. Hence today we have a white Miss SA because we are afraid to confront racism. We are scared to take the white minority on. We didn't kick out Chidimma out of the Miss SA competition to make way for a white lady to take the crown. We are saying Chidimma doesn't represent the South African culture in any way. She doesn't have the South African heritage within her to represent us on these international stages. She says she was born here, which now, since the Department of Home Affairs evidence is becoming more confusing, we don't know if she came here as an infant or she was born in South Africa. I am not sure if she was born here or she spent, most of her life here, but all I know is that Chidimma is South Africa is home to Chidimma. South Africa is all she knows, but she hasn't taken the time to get to know the culture, celebrate the different diverse cultures, or even familiarize herself with our languages. She doesn't claim us on social media, so it is kind of hard to connect with that kind of person when I can't even identify nor see myself in her. You have to understand that the difference between Black Americans and Africans is that Black Americans look at your skin color to determine if you are one of them. Africans have tribes and cultures, and with tribes comes egos, which kind of stops us from being united as one. Do you understand? A black person from New York can be seen as one with a black person from California, but an Igbo person in Nigeria can't be seen as one with a Zulu man from KZN. I know, it's insane. And I feel like the white people have seen that loophole and they're leveraging it. They are using it to cause more mass division amongst the African community. And they are endorsing this hate, this black on black hate. But unfortunately, this is not a racial situation. South Africans cannot be mocked for their decisions. This whole case revealed how rotten our government is by facilitating and aiding illegal immigrants in our country. Right now, we are trying to clean house, and it's not going to be nice. We are putting South Africans first, and for that, we cannot be called xenophobic. Also, I feel like the term xenophobia is only used in South Africa whenever African immigrants don't get their way. I mean, in Nigeria, the Nigerians refused a lady from participating in the Miss Nigeria pageant because she does not look Nigerian enough. Is that also not xenophobia? Why didn't this get mainstream attention? All I'm saying is that this is not a racial issue. If a white person racially charged a Chidimma, I think South Africans would have rallied around Chidimma and supported her through that ordeal. And I know someone would say, what makes Mia LaRue, the white Miss SA, more South African than Chidimma? And I know someone would say, what makes Mia LaRue, the white Miss SA winner, more South African than Chidimma? Because the whites penetrated this land violently. Why don't they get the same treatment as Chidimma? Because they are all foreigners. They all not from South Africa. They don't have the South African heritage or lineage. So why Mia LaRue doesn't get the hate, but Chidimma Adetshina gets the hate? I think I will leave it to our African Diaspora News family in the comment section to answer that question for me. So don't forget to answer this question in the comment section below. Like and share the broadcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss these groundbreaking conversations right here on the